Food and weight obsession can be exhausting. Losing weight, gaining weight, dieting, feeling like a failure because you missed a workout, binged, overate, or gained all the weight back. The cycle is endless and it can be maddening. But I'm here to say you can stop the mental madness. You can take back control of your food behaviors, but you have to face your fears, you have to ask for help, and make a change. I am Leslie M. Thornton, permanent weight loss coach from hpwl.co. This is Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss, and I know you can make this happen. On this podcast, you will hear how to stop the mental madness, love your body, trust your food decisions so you can create a life of happiness, freedom, and inner peace. Hello, Leslie M. Thornton, Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss. We are talking living as if today. 2023 is upon us, and I don't know about you, but I can feel the new energy and new vibes, probably the most intense that I've ever felt them in my entire life. I've actually always been a fan of New Year's. I know some people are kind of lackluster about it, but I think it's such an exciting day. There was a couple years ago, I actually went to Times Square for New Year's Eve. It was absolutely amazing. I can't even tell you. I love big events. I love things where there's lots of people gathered for celebratory things, not necessarily like weddings, like that's okay. And maybe there's weddings I haven't gone to yet that I would absolutely feel that way about, but things like races, right? That's for charitable causes or community service events, or New Year's Eve in Times Square. And it was the perfect time to go. I was visiting my sister down in the city right after Christmas. My sisters and I took a trip down to New York after the holiday, and we're just going to do some different activities together in the city. And it was like 50 degrees out in New York. And I was like, this is uncanny. It feels like spring. How many days is this supposed to last? And sure enough, New Year's Eve was supposed to be quite balmy for the most part, compared to some New Year's that could be 0 degrees and freezing, or a blizzard or something. And so I decided to stay, and I researched how to do the Times Square New Year's thing in the most effective way. Of course, everyone's first question is, what do you do about the bathroom? But I'm here to say that I survived without one and just took minimal intake of fluids and food, and just camped out and had a fantastic time. And every single hour, I think I got there around 1:30 in the afternoon, which I was told was already late to arrive. And we were all put in sections on the road in front of the famous ball that drops. And every hour, the artists that played at midnight, one was Post Malone that year. There was that other, I can't remember. It's like K-bop or something like that. It's like this Asian band that there's like 4 of them and very popular. Anyway, so every hour the bands would audition and therefore entertain us as we were in the crowd. And then once it became like 6 p.m. or so, they would do a countdown for every single hour, kind of preparing us for the actual time of the new year happening. It was incredible. I went by myself, but I ended up with 3 other people, one, couple, and this other girl who was there by herself. And we all just had a blast together and made the most of it. And wow, memories to last a lifetime. Probably the most exciting part was when the ball actually dropped and the confetti it was so much confetti that fell out of the sky. I looked up and, there's buildings that are surrounding the streets, and all of the buildings must be under contract that whatever the top floor is, that there will be bags and bags and bags of confetti that is thrown out of the top of these buildings. So I just look up and I see these windows open, and I just see people that are just throwing bags and bags of confetti out. And wow, just incredible energy. It was so amazing. And I've been for New Year's Eve, in all different countries around the world. I was in Bangkok for one New Year's, which is also, one of the places they'll show on TV when they're going to all the major cities, and, Sydney, Australia, and all the things. And it's just amazing. And to me, to be in one of the most amazing cities on our planet at one of the most popular, times that people know about New York City was just absolutely extraordinary. And I think the main key here is the energy that goes along with this type of day and this type of event. And my question for you is, what if 2023 can feel that level of hype the entire time? So it's something that we know, being people who are aware of the unconscious mind and how 95% of the results that we get in our life is based on what's going on in the unconscious, is that we are the creators of our own reality. Whatever it is that is currently in our present existence, the type of relationships, the type of living situation, the type of environment, the type of body that you have, the type of everything that you have, is a reflection of the thoughts that you believe and what you feel that you deserve and what you're worthy of having in your life. And I think something that's so powerful and that I've fully been embracing as of late is my own lane. Okay, so what does that mean? Not comparing yourself to anyone else, right? As a Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss coach, where I see so many women especially get stuck as they are comparing themselves, their bodies, their life, their energy, everything to other people, or they're concerned about ruining relationships by going out and separating from mom or dad or doing something different in the family. I know that this was definitely something that I dealt with in my life, and being just super scared of severing ties. But getting that this is actually your life, your soul has your own unique purpose to be living out during your precious time on this planet, and the willingness to just be so I don't want to say ruthless, but I kind of want to say ruthless around what gets to be inside your space, who you choose to share what it is that you're building or creating with. I know for myself, I have definitely chosen to keep what I am building and creating just amongst people that I know who are also building and creating their best lives as well, and are so positive and supportive, versus, other people you might share with, and their fears may bring you down or bring in emotions that aren't of highest vibe. And, when it comes to building your perfect life, having your ideal health, okay, mind, body, and spirit, and your own life, what is required to continue to powerfully play out on this Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss journey and path and experience is to constantly be taking an inventory on what is in your life, what energy is bringing you down, what's holding you back, and being willing to feel through some of the painful, challenging emotions to change the beliefs and the mindset that you have to get in alignment with your highest version of yourself, with the ideal amount of energy and life satisfaction and connections and experiences that you truly desire and you want to have. Okay, so it's my experience that we are all meant to just be, our soul is waiting for us to step into what is already ours and what has already been ours. I'll give you an example. In my life, I have been on the phone with Dr. Joe Dispenza, which, if you don't know his work, it's just profound. And he is a leader in consciousness and creating your own reality. When I first discovered hypnosis, one of the first things that I Googled in trying to understand the science of how it works so powerfully for me was a video from Dr. Joe Dispenza talking about the power of the mind, and then continuing on my path and um, ending up, I did volunteer work for an organization called the Albany Peace Project in Albany, New York, founded by Bethany Gagne. And as I was participating and contributing to that work, that was basically a 10-year study to prove that a group of people meditating together with the same intention of decreasing crime and violence in a certain area, which was for Albany, New York, that it would actually decrease the level of crime and violence. And we had a statistician on the team, and we had all the police that were working with us. And sure enough, we actually showed that compared to all the other years in the month of January, every year when we meditated for the city of Albany, New York to have decreased crime and violence, that there was in fact a decrease in crime and violence compared to decades prior in this area. Really amazing work. Dr. Joe Dispenza has also done studies like this in many cities around the world. There's different studies where they actually have magnets that actually measures, when meditation is around, the vibration that's on the planet as the result of us getting into heart coherence with all of the science and research that's going on with the mind-body connection and how science and spirituality meet. There's nothing that lights me up more, clearly, as you can tell. So anyway, during that, we actually, Bethany got in contact with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I was kind of helping with the marketing for that project. And Bethany let me know that she had a phone call set up with Dr. Joe, and he was actually willing to support us in our project and invited me to be there. And one of the things I knew was that we were going to be able to measure our work so much more profoundly if we could also invite Dr. Joe Dispenza's list, his following, to meditate with us and have our numbers exponentially increase as a result of that connection. And so there I am sitting across the kitchen table from Bethany Gagne as she's getting onto the call, and Dr. Joe's assistant first answers the phone and then passes the phone to Dr. Joe. He's in the car on his way to his next event. And Bethany starts talking and she starts asking questions. And I realized at the end, she was about wrapping up the conversation, and she did not make the ask if he would be willing to share with his list our project to be able to make a bigger impact. And so I just felt myself lurching across the table, and I was like, Dr. Joe, would you be willing to share this project with your list so that we can increase the impact of, what it is that we're doing here to, show that meditation is something that really moves the needle. And he said, yes, I'll connect you with my marketing person. And then I was in charge of having 6,000 people join our email list practically overnight from a couple emails that I had written for his company, his team, and that I saw getting blasted out from his email list that I was on. And then all these people starting to join our list and to join our mission to prove that meditation and actually can decrease crime and violence on our planet. Just amazing. So all of this to say, so I had that experience, and then I listened to this podcast called the Subconscious Mind Mastery Podcast with Thomas Miller. Yes. And I had reached out to him after listening to his podcast for so long and just thanked him and said how much I appreciated it and how hypnosis changed my life. And he actually reached out to me. We had conversations, and then I was invited to co-lead a Sedona Vortex Energy Tour. 25 people from his listenership came, and I was one of the leaders and introduced people to muscle testing and neurolinguistic programming and learning how to actually operate the mind to get different kinds of results and get people in alignment with where it is that they truly want to go and to fulfill out their soul's and life's purpose. When we take inventory of what is automatically coming into our space, what we can get are little hints of what our vibration actually is if our minds weren't in the way of us actually being able to receive that. So with just these types of experiences and the different things that have shown up in my life, it shows me more of who I am vibrationally than I might even see myself as. And so my intention for 2023 is to step into that vibration and get my mind in alignment with who I already am on a regular basis to receive all that is meant to be for me and to make the impact on the planet that I came here to make. And what that requires is me, again, being brutally honest with myself and taking out anything that is not a match for that energy so that it can come in. When we are talking about living as if, this is what we're talking about. So this week I'm holding a visioning workshop for my clients, and we are taking vision boarding to the next level of actually embodying who it is, acting as if, and going way beyond just the goal that we have. A couple of weeks ago, I did on New Year's resolutions and, on, weight loss as a New Year's resolution, but it's so much more than that. It's like when you're in a body that feels that it's healthy and energetic and strong and whatever that feels right to you, then you're able to carry out all these other aspects of your life that matter to you as well. It's like, I want to invite you to just really zoom out way beyond just a goal of weight loss. And with our clients, that's exactly what we're doing, is like, let's get the mind out of the way of obsessing about this one area of life that we are making ourselves wrong and bad for, and go bigger, right? Like, who do you want to be? Like, what are you called to be doing? What are you passionate about? What are your strengths? What's your skill set? What makes you feel completely alive when you do it? That it's almost like, you would do it all day long, even if nobody was paying you, right? Can be an amazing sign. For me, it's coaching, it's living my best life and teaching other people how they can live theirs, right? And just the most, like, I can't even, I'm so lit up about that. I can't even tell you. Okay. So, finding out what that is for you, no matter what that is, whether it's parenting, whether it's, gardening, whether it's, environmental activism, whether it doesn't matter. It's just like owning your lane and stepping into that bigness, and knowing that once you're in alignment with every aspect of your life, your relationships are the way that you would ideally like them, your environment is the way that you'd ideally like them, your energy and the way that you feel in your body is amazing and supporting in the way that you'd ideally like it. And obviously this is not perfectionism. There's always room for growth. Just last night, I was coaching my clients on the difference between how you feel in your body versus how you feel about your body. This is an intuitive eating principle that really changed a lot for me, and really owning that if your body is the size that it is right now, then there's some part of you, like, it's exactly where you're meant to be right now on this healing journey. Right. And as hard as it is to actually accept that and be okay with that and feel safe within that, it is a vital step to actually being able to create whatever is next, right? Whatever is that, level 10x of the current health and situation that you're in now. And the key to getting to that, right? We also talked last night about the difference between having goals that are toward goals, aka toward your future self, toward being your highest expression on the planet and being of ultimate service with whatever you are doing in life, versus an away from goal, which is like, I need to lose weight because I need to get away from the possibility of me having diabetes, away from the possibility of me dying, away from, right? It's like coming from that, and that's not sustainable, right? So we really need to, that's the work that we do, is we get rid of the negativity, right? We just we use our emotional mastery tools and to let go of the negativity, and then focus on what we want, on what brings us joy, on what makes us feel alive every single day of our lives. And when we do that, then everything can naturally fall into space. For example, I have a client who she was wanting to move again because she knew that movement made her happy from the stuff she did in the past. And so she actually made an empowered choice to start weightlifting, and it's bringing her so much joy. Does she have the thought, like, maybe hopefully this will help me lose weight? Of course, that's normal, but that is not her why for doing it. She's doing it because it brings her joy, the connection of the other people in the gym doing it too, right? It brings her happiness and inner peace in her life. And so again, aligning with these pieces and doing the actions that your highest self thinking, being, and acting the way that your highest version of yourself would think, feel, and act in the day-to-day life, and allowing and creating space to receive everything that is already yours as the result of stepping into that. So that is my wish for you for 2023. Yes, for the stuff that we talked about of positive thinking, this is kind of like that next level. It's all the same, but then focusing on what it is that you want, what you're calling in, and knowing that you are already a match for everything and anything if you're willing. And you don't need to hustle, you don't need to grind, you don't need to struggle. You can actually just receive, allow, and create from the space of the all that isness. And how good can life get? It's ours to receive and to feel into and to look at. So if you are ready to get on this journey of thinking way outside of just weight loss and to live your best life and create anything that's possible and receive anything that's yours, get in contact with us. It is only getting better and better over here. We love you so much, and we'll see you next time. If you are serious about taking action on your struggle with food, body, and weight, then this is for you. Go ahead and text the word hypnosis to 855-BE-ALIVE. That's 855-232-5483. Immediately after texting that number, you will get access to our free training that will tell you why you can't figure the food, body, and weight thing out, why you can't keep weight off even after you've been successful in the past, and how to actually overcome it, including a mini hypnosis session at the end. Don't miss out. Text the word hypnosis to 855-BE-ALIVE. That's 855-232-5483.